Can you see? All right, guys. This is week number 2 in an undisclosed location. Continuing the welding and the 1,000-gallon extension stand. We got the thing sitting up on its side right now. Don's going to weld the top beads. I'm going to flip this bad boy around.
Is there a limit?
Probably burn for a couple hours. And we're getting closer to the end. So here we go. Go back to that one. So what the rod that you were using was what again?
This is 60-10.
What was that back there?
That was 70-18.
What is the difference between 70-18 and the 60?
Tensile strength is stronger with the 70-18 than the 60-10. It's more of a fill rod, and it fills gaps a lot better.
It burned.
It burned in
It
the.
looked like it burned faster, actually.
It burnt well, yeah, and it's you can't really drag it. You gotta tap it when you got an opening like that, and that's why I get that roll of dime effect.
And the reason you're doing that is because of this opening right here.
There's a little bit more of an opening. I just don't want to blow steel away. I could do it. It'll leave undercut, and I'm trying to make it as neat as possible.
All right, blast that one. So what he's doing is he's hitting it, letting it off, hitting it, letting it off, hitting it, letting it off, creating what is like a row of dimes. It appears you know what you're doing. Looks good. Perfect.
See what we got over there.
Yeah, that looks good. All right, it's coming together little by little.
Like that. They're really not gonna do that. So this one's not gonna be as nice.
So you're hitting it, letting it off, hitting it, letting it off.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool. There was a little wider gap there, so it was not as. Let's see what this one looks like, Joe. This is probably good. What a goof.
All right. So explain what we're doing right now. We're putting on the, I wouldn't call those gussets. The heck we're going to call those?
Leveler plates.
So this is actually the bottom of the stand. There's 4 of these going, obviously in all 4 corners. And then the nut will get welded right above this hole. We will drill this hole out so it goes completely through the tube steel. So what we're going to do right now is going to tack these on. All right, so the 4 corners are in. And now we're getting ready to put down the 6 inner plates. All these will be 10 separate jacks. So here we go. Now we're going to weld these. All 10 plates are welded on. 4 corners looking like this. And 6 in the middle looking like this. So obviously this is the bottom of the stand. This whole thing will get flipped over. And man, it's going to be heavy. Woohoo! So I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down with the acetone. Like I say, get all the dirt and grime and a little bit of oil residue. That's, when you pick it up from shipping and how they keep it. And then, once that's done, we're going to paint it with this Eastwood Extreme Classic Black. It's going to be a gloss black. Obviously you can see right there in the cover it's talking about it's 3 times more durable than the original chassis black. So that should make this look pretty nice. All right, here we go. Clean and paint. Okay, now the second coat has been put on the stand. I did this late last night. But one of the things I wanted to do real quick before I land this stand is I wanted to show you guys real quick that I'm actually putting some anti-seize up inside the nut. So what I've got right here is I've taken one of the bolts and I've literally put the anti-seize all over the threads, because once I land this thing, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to have access to coming back and doing this at that time. Alright guys, we're going to raise this stand up. This is actually round 2. We almost had a catastrophic event here. This bottle jack right here bottomed out. We were almost there, but we needed like an extra maybe 1 inch, if that. So we had to tear everything apart, slide the two 2x6s underneath the bottle jacks. So that'll give us an extra 3 inches. You can see that right here on the left side. So we're prepped and ready to go. And on the far right side, same thing, 2x6s. So we have an extra 3 inches now to get us to where we got to go. So we're going to raise this up, slide the boards out. Obviously there's going to be that moment in time when all the weight is on the 2 6x6s. And the 1,000-gallon tank will be floating in all 4 corners with the bottle jacks.
Why in the hell would you create something like that?
So once that's in position, like I said, we'll slide these boards out, and then we're going to slide the new extension stand underneath. Alright guys, the stand is under the stand. Go figure that one. So right now we're still floating. About a 1/4 inch to go. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and land it. And then I can actually slide the 2 stands together, meaning so that they're completely squared up with a pair of C-clamps so that all 4 corners, you know, everything is completely in line, meaning, you know, this way, from this face to this face, which you can tell they're kind of in line right now. But obviously I'm going to get probably really picky here with a pair of C-clamps and lock this thing in. And then we're going to drill around the perimeter, so you're going to have a bolt here, here, obviously on the back, 2 over there, 2 over here, 2 on the ends, and 2 on this end. So it'll be drilled all the way around the perimeter, squeezing the original stand with the new stand. So the next step right now is to go ahead and land it. land it for the night, and get it off the bottle jacks. Alright guys, now we're breaking this thing down. You can see I've got the bricks taken away from both sides of the tank here. It's time to clean this area up and get rid of all the wood that we use to raise the tank up, the bricks, the bottle jacks, clean up the area, because the next step is going to be to drill the two stands together. Man, I'm glad to get this completely out of the house. 21 bricks. Got them on the cart, and they are out of here. Geez, I've been tripping on this garbage for like 30 days now. All right, guys, so this is going to be the 12 bolts that go around the perimeter of the 1,000-gallon tank. But just because it's going to be in an area, obviously, with water, I'm going to go ahead and primer these and then spray paint these black, just so they got one extra layer of protection. So what I've done is taken 2 pieces of plate steel and put them on both sides of the 2x2 tubular steel and squeezed it with the C-clamp, and with that the upper stand and the lower stand are now absolutely perfect right on top of one another. So I'm going to do this around the perimeter so that I know that we are completely true from one stand to the other, and then I'm going to drill through both of these and bolt everything together. So what we're doing is we're drilling around the perimeter. I've got a pilot bit, and I've already marked this off about 11 inches off this sidewall here, so it's going to be center line here and center line over here. I put the pilot bit through. Unfortunately, because of the length of the bit, I can break through the top, this next layer, but I can't get all the way through. But actually, it's kind of good, because now this drill bit here is the proper size of the bolt. So it lines everything up, and I can punch through the bottom. This bottom one, 2x2 tubular steel, is actually 3/16, and this one is actually 1/8. So this is fighting me just a little bit more. Obviously, it takes a little bit more time to get through. I think what I'm going to do for now is just putting this together kind of temporary, because I want to put a square washer on the top and on the bottom to get more surface area in contact. So when I squeeze these two together, if you put too much pressure on it right now, it actually will bend this steel. So I'm trying to get away from that. So, but for tonight, just by putting this on here, we can lock all the, at least go around the perimeter, put all the bolts in position. And this will give us the ability to at least give us a chance to move the tank and stand 90 degrees and get it in somewhat position. And I can come back later and put the square washers on the top and bottom. So just by that right there, you can, and I can feel it like pulling together. So that's the second one. First one's done over there in the corner. Probably going to put the rest of them in. But like I said, I'll come back later and put the square washers on.